This is indeed a disturbing universe.
Could you give me a handful of peanuts, Maud?
Oh, sure.
Not those peanuts.
Oh.
The ones at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
I had the challenge of drawing Homer drunk. So I had to analyze how does it feel to, what do people do when they're drunk? And so I shifted his eyes open and closed. They're not working in sync. And of course, Homer can't keep his balance, so that's why he's shifting back and forth.
Hey, thanks for inviting me. I had a wonderful time.
I must apologize for my husband.
If you want him to live through the night, I suggest you roll him onto his stomach.
I remember drawing it and making sure that the tongue was touching the floor. It's being cropped out a little bit.
Thank you, I will, Dr. Hibbert. Thanks for coming.
Remember, I said if.
I love that line.
I have never been so embarrassed in my life.
Why? What'd you do?
Marge's scorn. Underlying it, this is a very serious problem in a marriage.
Yeah. That's why it's funny because it's true.
And in the script, this was the end of Act 1. Act 2 would have started with the following morning, but in the episode, Act 1 continues on throughout the morning and into the church service.
This is a terrific joke. That's like...
That came after the animatic, I remember.
Yeah.
Come here.
Where are we going?
Shh. I want to make sure the kids don't hear. When I was young, I always hated knowing my parents were fighting.
They're fighting in the car again. That music always sends a chill down my spine.
Again, this music.
My parents were fighting.
Fighting in the car again.
What station is that?
Chill down my spine.
Homer, do you remember the way you acted at the party?
This is a joke that we wouldn't do anymore, I don't think. Mexican hat dance?
Oh yeah, of course not. They would definitely not do this joke today. And they probably wouldn't even have done it in 2002 when they recorded this commentary either. Because by the time the 2000s rolled around, the Simpsons producers were already very politically correct. But back in the early 1990s, political correctness was almost non-existent on this show. In fact, this wasn't even the first time in season 2 they used this song for almost the exact same reason.
No insurance plan in this state covers something as frivolous as Demoxenil. Meet me in the alley in 15 minutes. Come alone.
Homer, do you remember the way you acted at the party last night?
The way I acted? So I said I must get out of these wet clothes and into a dry martini.
Well said.
Oh, you puppets again.
Thank you.
Oh, good Lord, there's a fly in my drink.
I put it there.
You did?
I slipped it into your glass as a gag.
Pure hilarity.
Pure Homer.
I pronounce it to be the most whimsical jape of the season.
This stylization was inspired by David Silverman because he was a big fan of Al Hirschfeld's, and he brought in a Hirschfeld book. And he said, let's do this in the Al Hirschfeld style since we're mimicking the Algonquin Club characters.
Oh, man.
So I think in season 2 we've seen a few examples of great animation like this.
Distinctly I remember. It was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow. Vainly I had sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow.
We're gonna send a message to those bureaucrats down there in the state capitol!
Yeah, boy, get down on your knees and beg for forgiveness.
Yeah, beg me, Farts. Beg me. Lisa, I beg of you. Please forgive me.
Ah!
not spit over the side. We told you to hold on to the handrail.
That's a really long pan there.
We asked you not to spit over the side. Le dijimos que se aguante.
Somebody with crooked yellow teeth.
All those clips are great examples of Season 2 animation, but I just think this long pan that slowly transitions from one animation style to another just blows all those other clips away. Mark Kirkland really achieved something here. This is probably the most impressive looking shot in the entire series up to this point.
That's Robert Benchley, Mark Connolly, Edna Ferber, Georges Kaufman, and
yeah.
Beautiful look to this. I love the heavy outlines around the characters.
This was the longest camera pan I have ever done on The Simpsons. It was about 30 feet long, that piece of artwork.
Unbelievable. It's beautiful. I love especially seeing The Simpsons done in their style, and also in the style of another artist.
Homer, I like to think that I'm a patient, tolerant woman and that there was no line you could cross that could make me stop loving you. But last night, you didn't just cross that line, you threw up on it.
I'm sorry, honey.
I kind of purposefully put Homer feeling lower in his seat than Marge when he shrinks down and gives him a little bit of an inferior position in this whole thing.
Can't we just forget it and go to church?
I'm going to church alone today. You're going to stay here and explain to Bart why you scarred him for life.
No, I didn't. Oh, you mean inside, don't you? How about last night? You might have noticed Daddy acting a little strange, and you probably don't understand why.
I understand why. You were wasted.
I admit it. I didn't know when to say when.
Good times with friends. Hey, they're special. Sometimes you wish they would never end. The care you show is just as special. Friends know when to say when.
The family of Budweiser beers is proud of all the friendships they've helped make. So when they remind you to know when to say when, it's all in the name of friendship.
Friends know when to say when.
I'm sorry it happened, and I just hope you didn't lose a lot of respect for me.
Dad, I have as much respect for you as I ever did or ever will.
Oh.
Homer doesn't get the slight.
Now, before I give you all a sneak preview of next week's sermon, I have some announcements to make.
Marge wears a funny Jackie Kennedy pillbox hat on top of that blue hair.
We have some new pamphlets available in our church news rack, including Bible Bafflers, Satan's Boners, good grief, more Satan's Boners, and for the teens, it's not cool to fry in hell.
Homer has given this poor woman PTSD.
Marge. That's a weird character back there.
It's Hitler, isn't it?
I don't know who it is.
Oh, God. Yeah, one of those bad background characters that
he sort of went away.
We finally got rid of.
I'm sorry, the Lord and I can't compete with the squeaking of Homer Simpson shoes. Why don't we just put everything on hold until he takes a seat?
Sorry, Reverend.
Sit down, Homer. Mrs. Lovejoy and myself will be holding our third annual marriage retreat next weekend at Catfish Lake.
Oh, there's the weird twins I remember.
Catfish Lake.
They're not Moleman's kids, but I remember people zeroing in on them saying, let's not see them again.
So this is the first time I've ever noticed this, but what Mike Reese is talking about involving those two babies is a conversation these same people had during the commentary for a previous episode, Principal Charming.
Now, was this the introduction of Mole Man?
They say this is the introduction of Mole Man, but I think he appeared in church first.
You don't think? I think this is the first time. I remember him being quite controversial when in the writer's room.
We didn't expect him to come back looking like a shriveled potato.
I remember being told, don't ever design a character like that again.
And again, where I thought his first appearance was, if it's not there, there's a point where there's Mole Man, they're in church, and there's Mole Man, and there's two babies beside him that look like Mole Man, little ugly, shriveled, brown children.
And when I made that video, I had no idea what he was talking about. But I searched and searched for that scene. I even looked at the old Tracy Ullman shorts. But this is the reason you can't take what these guys say as fact. They're just remembering things as best they can. And since this was recorded back in 2002, their memories were probably much better than they are now. But it was still 11 years later, so I'm sure it isn't fresh.
It's psychological counseling for couples whose marriages are hanging by a thread, or those just in need of a tune-up.
Now, if you wish to participate, please sign up in the lobby after the service is over.
I have a friend, animator named Tuck Tucker, who when I joined The Simpsons, I brought him aboard. And he's just a natural animator, and he did all this animation, and he did a lot of the catfish stuff later, the fighting, but he did a great job.
Will the Simpsons be attending our little retreat?
Oh, well, it's very tempting. Really a wonderful idea. Bart! What are you doing? Are you insane? No! Give it a go!
We'll be there!
Go!